paying for this crisis and how it's been paid for. And the IMF is seeking, of course, further contributions. The Canadian finance minister said to me yesterday, it's a non-starter, and he thinks it's wrong that so many countries, poorer countries, are being asked to help stump the bill for the European financial crisis. He has a strong point, doesn't he?
He does have a strong point, but I think there is a little bit of a misconception of about what the IMF is about. The IMF is a club of 187 members, some of whom are members of the Eurozone, but many others are not members of the Eurozone. And the IMF is in the business of supporting, caring, preventing for all the community, not just the Eurozone members. And he's right about the fact that the Eurozone members have to help themselves first and foremost.
Why should any other country provide any money when the Eurozone has got the money? They just don't want to spend it politically.
All the other members are members of the IMF club, right? And the club is for all members. The Eurozone crisis is not just secluded, exclusive to the Eurozone. It's coming from somewhere else in the meantime. But it's also going to have collateral damage, external effects outside of the Eurozone. There's no country in the world that I've visited in the last 8 weeks, and I've visited many, that hasn't said the Eurozone crisis is a problem for me, for my economy, for my country, for my growth, and therefore everybody has an interest in trying to fix the problems of the Eurozone and the problems outside the Eurozone.
Completely agree with you, but that doesn't mean to say that you foot the bill. You can help without paying. I mean, Germany, all the northern European countries, France even, they can afford to do this, but politically it's difficult to do it.
You know what, the IMF never foots the bill. The IMF lends. The IMF gets its money back, and the IMF gets interest on the top of its money back, and it's a super privileged creditor. So it's resources that are invested, that are coming back, and that are bearing interest. So I'm not suggesting it's the best investment in the world, because the return is not extraordinary, but it's a very, very safe investment, and it's an investment in the future, not of the Eurozone, because the Eurozone has to care for itself, as it has begun doing, but for the entire stability in the world.
I listened to Chancellor Merkel, I listened to David Cameron, I've listened to you last week in Berlin, and the message is, now is the time to do the deal. Now is the time to get it sorted. But I come back to the thought that we've heard it before. So why should and I don't mean this disrespectfully to yourself personally, but why do those saying it have any credibility for us to believe that they will now do it?
Well, the proof of the pudding is in the eating, and there are meetings coming up where clearly the partners are going to have to come up with proposals, and not just lip service to the principle of competitiveness, not lip service to the principle of growth, not lip service to the principle of firewall. All these will have to come together and will have to be significant.